Good afternoon, everybody. I just thought I'd do a little follow-up on the oil line repair and a couple other things I was doing. Not big things, but as you can see, these braided oil lines are installed on there. You can kind of see the fitting where they go down there. The camera will focus a little bit, but that fitting you can get to with 10 mil or so they're 13 millimeter socket with, you can use a elbow on it. I've got a 10 on there right now, but you can get down in there to get at it with a 13 on a 1/4 inch drive. You probably could use 3/8 inch as well, but 1/4 inch drive there. I did replace the regulator here as well with a more modern unit, solid state type regulator. The old one was still working, but these charging systems are a little weak to begin with, so any update you can do to it to get the regulator and the voltage to kick in and work a little better, it's obviously worth your time. It is kind of a pain to get at that regulator down in there, the Convert especially, because of the transmission lines. Normally on the the other V1000s with the 5 speeds, you've got a little bit more room to get your hands in there. And I'll tell you, it's not an easy thing to get in there to work on it, but got the new regulator in there. Just a few other smaller things to, just the side cover, grommets and that kind of thing needed to be replaced. And oil change, just doing an oil change on it, and just a few little updates. I'm gonna ride it for the summer, and then the transmission should be resealed. It is weeping, but what do you expect? The bike is 50 years old and the seals dry out and things like that. And I don't know, I probably should replace the transmission lines, although I've had no trouble with them and they feel fine, but that can be a point of failure. And that looks like a pain too as well, because of the way they're routed, and you actually have to take and grind these fittings off the ends carefully, because what you want to do is just you're gonna band clamp some regular hoses to the metal fittings, and so you take these off, use a grinder to just take this this edge off. You don't want to, and then because these are crimped onto the lines. And so, you just, again, kind of a pain, but rotate it around on a grinder until you just cut this edge off, and then you'll be able to use this as a point of attachment with a good band clamp. And so they go down here, obviously, and there's actually a pump in here. There's a pump that obviously creates pressure so you to drive you forward. That pump sometimes can give people trouble. It's it's the weirdest thing. It's a hex head coupling. In other words, it's like an Allen head coupling that if you were to go ahead and cut an Allen wrench off, in other words, you would just need a section of the Allen wrench. I forget, it's not that long, but that's what couples the drive from the pump. The feed line here, there is a filter on here. And the feed line, you can use just regular gas line for most of it because low pressure, good quality line you can use. But on the feed line, it's a good idea to use a flexible rubber transmission line, because there is some vacuum pressure on this line here, so you don't want in other words, to collapse the line because of that vacuum. It's pulling, obviously pulling transmission fluid out of the tank. And then, anyway, so not too much else going on here. Just an oil change and regulator. I've replaced a few rubber bits that were worn out, and there you go. It's been running good and a lot of fun this summer. So I'm trying to put off any major maintenance that I might have to do until winter. You know, there's no point in tearing it apart when I can still get some quality time out of it this summer. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good day, and thanks for watching.